In the bustling streets of Shanghai's international settlement, amidst the chaos of 1936, a liver-and-white English pointer puppy named Judy was born. The Shanghai dog kennels, a haven for purebreds, couldn't contain her adventurous spirit. At just 3 months old, Judy burrowed under a chain-link fence, tasting freedom in the frenetic city. For weeks, she roamed, foraging and dodging danger, until a kennel worker scooped her up and brought her back. Her independence and sharp instincts were already evident, qualities that would define her extraordinary life. The Royal Navy's gunboat HMS Nat, patrolling the Yangtze River to quell pirates and maintain order, needed a mascot. Judy, with her keen senses and boundless energy, was the perfect fit. The sailors, led by Chief Petty Officer Charles Jeffrey, welcomed her aboard. She became their early warning system, her nose and ears detecting threats long before human eyes could. Judy's life on the Nat was a whirlwind of companionship and duty, romping with the crew and alerting them to unseen dangers. In 1939, she transferred to the HMS Grasshopper, a newer gunboat stationed in Singapore, where she continued her role as a beloved mascot, playing with refugees and keeping spirits high. The world was unraveling. By December 1941, Japan's aggression engulfed the Pacific, and Singapore became a battleground. The Grasshopper, carrying over 200 refugees, soldiers, nurses, and civilians, fled toward the Dutch East Indies. Judy, ever the morale booster, played hide-and-seek with children on deck, her wagging tail a beacon of normalcy amidst the fear. But safety was elusive. On February 14, 1942, Japanese bombers struck, sinking the Grasshopper in the South China Sea. Judy and the survivors washed ashore on Posick, a barren coral spit with no food or water. Desperation set in, but Judy's instincts saved the day. Sniffing along the shore, she stopped at a patch of sand, barking and digging furiously. Fresh water welled up from the hole she'd clawed, a lifeline for the parched survivors. She was a savior then, recalled Leonard Walter Williams, a seaman from the Grasshopper. For 5 days, they clung to life until a Chinese junk rescued them, ferrying them to Singkep in the Dutch East Indies. From there, Judy and the crew embarked on a grueling 200-mile trek through Sumatra's jungle, aiming for Padang and evacuation. The jungle was unforgiving. Judy, ever vigilant, alerted the men to a stalking Sumatran tiger, her barks driving it back. But danger struck when a crocodile lunged, slashing her shoulder. The crew patched her up with meager first aid supplies, and Judy pressed on. After 5 weeks, they reached Sawalunto, only to learn the last evacuation ship had sailed 9 days earlier. On March 18, 1942, Japanese forces captured them, and Judy, hidden under rice sacks, became a prisoner of war alongside her human companions. The prisoners were marched to Glogor Camp in Medan, North Sumatra, a place of malnutrition, disease, and brutality. Judy, smuggled in by the crew, was a secret they guarded fiercely. There, she met Leading Aircraftman Frank Williams, a young RAF radar specialist from Portsmouth. Starving and thin, Judy caught Frank's eye as she snapped up maggots tossed from the prisoners' bowls. One day, he offered her his entire rice ration. From that moment, Judy never left his side, their bond forged in shared hardship. Life in Glogor was hell. The prisoners, including British, Australian, and Dutch soldiers, faced starvation and beatings while forced to build a railway through Sumatra's jungle, a death railroad akin to the one in the bridge on the River Kwai. Judy became their guardian angel. She barked at approaching snakes, scorpions, and tigers, saving countless lives. When Japanese guards beat prisoners, Judy intervened, snarling and nipping, often taking blows herself. Her defiance inspired the men. "She didn't break, so why should we?" wrote an anonymous POW poet. Frank knew Judy's bravery put her at risk. The camp commandant, Colonel Bono, was a heavy drinker, and one sake-fueled night, Frank seized his chance. Offering a puppy from Judy's litter as a gift, he persuaded Bono to register Judy as an official prisoner of war, number 81 Glogor Medon, the only animal to hold such status in World War II. This designation saved her from execution, though danger lingered. Captain Nishi, Bono's cruel successor, despised dogs and ordered Judy left behind when the prisoners were transferred in June 1944. The prisoners were herded onto the SS Van Warwick, later called Harukiku Maru, a hell ship bound for Singapore. Dogs were forbidden, but Frank taught Judy to lie still in a rice sack. He slung her over his shoulder, and she never whimpered, evading the guard's notice. On June 26, 1944, disaster struck. A British submarine, unaware of the POWs aboard, torpedoed the ship. Over 500 of the 700 prisoners drowned. Frank pushed Judy through a 10-inch porthole, a 15-foot drop to the sea, praying she'd survive. In the oil-slicked water, Judy swam among the wreckage, guiding drowning men to debris or letting them cling to her as she paddled to safety. "She brought me ashore," one survivor recalled. Frank, recaptured and sent to a new camp, feared Judy was lost. But a month later, as he entered River Valley Camp in Singapore, a scraggy dog leaped at him, knocking him over. Judy, covered in oil, her eyes bloodshot, had survived. Smuggled by another prisoner, she'd evaded Captain Nishi's order to drown her. Their reunion was a flicker of hope in the darkness. Back in Sumatra, the prisoners were forced to cut a railway through the jungle, a brutal task that killed many. Judy proved invaluable, alerting the men to tigers, elephants, and snakes. She hunted rats and snakes to supplement their maggot-infested rice, sharing her catches with Frank. Her presence was a psychological lifeline. "Looking into her eyes gave me the will to keep going," Frank later said. When a lice outbreak prompted the guards to order Judy's death, Frank hid her until Allied forces liberated the camp in August 1945. Judy's journey home was another ordeal. Smuggled aboard a troop ship to Liverpool, she faced quarantine in Britain. The crew, devoted to their hero, rallied to secure her freedom, with an RAF colleague pulling strings through family connections. On April 29, 1946, Judy was released, and the PDSA awarded her the Dickin Medal, the Animal's Victoria Cross. Her citation read, "For magnificent courage and endurance in Japanese prison camps, which helped to maintain morale among her fellow prisoners, and also for saving many lives through her intelligence and watchfulness." Frank received the PDSA's White Cross of St. Giles for his devotion to her. Judy became a national sensation. The Daily Mirror hailed her as, "Gunboat Judy Saves Lives." She and Frank toured Britain, visiting children's hospitals and families of POWs who hadn't survived. Judy's gentle presence comforted grieving relatives, her wagging tail a symbol of resilience. On June 8, 1946, her barks were broadcast worldwide on the BBC's In Town Tonight during London's victory celebrations. At Wembley Stadium's Stars of Blitz and Battlefront event, she and another Dickin Medal winner, Rob, drew cheers from 82,000 spectators. When a borzoi bit Judy backstage, Rob defended her, cementing their bond. The only canine POW of World War II, she saved lives, defied cruelty, and gave hope to men in hell. Her legacy endures, a reminder that even in the darkest times, a dog's love can light the way.